Right then guys, it's PSL here, and I'm here for the 4th episode in my 20th Century Classic Cars Sprint Championship on F1 2017. Last time out we had the 3rd round of the season at the Hungaroring, and given the sort of track it is, it was actually quite an exciting race. There were a couple of lockups which ultimately determined not only the podium positions but also the points positions, because I myself was very lucky to finish in 6th, and that battle for 6th would have been a battle for 7th had other cars not made mistakes. There was also the 88 McLaren which spun around, so that was some excitement towards the back, but at the front it was business as usual, as it was a 1992 Williams, one of my teammates, that won the Grand Prix. So as a result of that race, all of the 1992 Williams have scored quite a few points in the championship, and actually, if you look at the championship standings, all of the 1992 Williams are serious championship contenders, but look, there are 3 1992 Williams at the top of the championship. Myself, Jonas Schiffer and Alex Murray, the 3 race winners and the top 3 in the championship. But again, with this point system, 10 points for a win, only 6 for second, you gain so many more points just for winning that you can get a good championship lead just by winning a Grand Prix, which the 98 McLarens have yet to have done. But as you can already tell, we're at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix, a completely contrasting circuit from the one we were at in the previous round. And overtakes will be aplenty here. It's only a 5-lap race as always, but there were a lot of overtakes within 5 laps at Hungary. There's going to be a lot in Monza. You've got the starting grid, you've got the old 91, 88 McLarens towards the front, the 95 Ferraris, but the 98 McLarens have always been towards the front. They've got, I think, 2 2nd place finishes this season so far, but all of the 1992 Williams are starting towards the back, unlike at the previous Grand Prix where we still had 192 Williams which hadn't scored any points. All of the 92 Williams are starting towards the back. We don't have a straight line speed advantage, the 98 McLarens do, so this should be easy pickings for the 98 McLarens, but even still, 5 laps, they're going to have to make a lot of overtakes. But the lights are coming on for the Italian Grand Prix in this Classic Car Sprint Championship, and it's underway, and there's a lot of tyre smoke coming from the 92 Williams there. You wouldn't have thought that this car has traction control, and in fact our starts compared to the rest of the field haven't been great. We're dropping back from 17th upwards, but later on the brakes, heading towards the Rettifilio chicane, there is one of the 98 McLarens directly ahead. But look at this, I mean, the Rettifilio chicane, a tight corner, but then going out of the corner, we're coming up towards the Curva Grande. Here's where I get a really poor launch actually, down into 19th place. So there you go, there are all of the 92 Williams in the final 4, the bottom 4 positions this Grand Prix. So it's not looking all that good, but later on the brakes, hopefully I could be the highest placed 92 Williams, although battling with a teammate Calabrese. I think we got past him though, up into 17th place, but I've also dropped back quite a bit from the rest of the field, which is now led by, okay, the car directly ahead of me is a 95 Ferrari. Let's have a look at the race start. On board from a 88 McLaren in 2nd place, and I think we're going to see, yeah, that's sort of what happened in Spain. However, the 88 McLaren was passed by another McLaren. It's difficult to tell from this angle whether that's a 91 McLaren. I think it is though. I mean, they all look, you know, kind of similar. They look similar from the back, the 88 and the 91 McLaren, but still, 2nd to 3rd, that's not a good start, and it's a power circuit. This car has the innate power disadvantage. It doesn't get much better. Later on the 1st lap, he's down to 4th, down to 5th. That's one of the 98 McLarens passing him already. There's also Williams to the right-hand side. And 5th place, that's now down into 6th. Less than a lap, and he's dropped from 2nd to 6th. And heading now down towards Parabolica, down into 7th place, down to 8th. There's a 98 McLaren, just look. 3 98 McLarens have just blitzed past. That car is seriously quick in a straight line, that 98 McLaren, compared to all of the other ones here anyway. It's noticeably quicker, and now we, in fact, on board with one of the 98 McLaren starting in 13th place. There's another one just there that started in 11th, I believe. 11th place, that is the highest position a 98 McLaren started, and a replay of the 1st lap. Now, This guy started in 13th, and under braking out the exit of the Rettifilio chicane, the first corner, he's gone up from 13th to 6th. So that's a mesmerising start. I mean, that's the sort of position gains you can make if you play the game, playing against AI. And this is AI against AI. That just shows how quick this car is. Up from 6th to 4th to 3rd. It's just, reeling off the positions. This is all within a lap. He's made up 10 places in a lap. That's extraordinary. I know this is the quickest car here, and it's also the quickest car in a straight line, but 13th to 3rd in a lap. It might even be 2nd, who knows. To be honest, it could well be 1st, going around Parabolica onto the start-finish straight to end the first lap of the Grand Prix. And this 98 McLaren driver in a lap has gone from 13th to 2nd. That's, quite frankly, unbelievable. But going back to the first lap with me, because my start was not so amazing. As well, you'll remember, I'm now the leading 92 Williams driver, and there's lots of people gaining positions, there's lots of people losing positions, and of course that means you've got slow cars mixing it in with quick cars, and that was a McLaren that just is a danger to have on circuit. Clip in the back of that 96 Williams there, so I lost a bit of time going around Parabolica. But I've always found that this series, this Classic Car Sprint Championship, and also the other one with the 21st Century cars, I've always found that always shows why we have the 107% rule in F1. Because if you have cars that are so different in terms of speed, it's just dangerous to have a slow car on the same track as a quick one. Got past the Williams later on the brakes. Bit of sliding coming out of the Rettifilio chicane, but well, we're going to have a replay of it here, I believe. So here's the thing, is unlike the 98 McLarens, we've been on board with the 98 McLarens. They can get past people easily. They don't have to do it on the brakes like I do, so it's just squeezed. That 96 Williams, that was fair. He left me as much of a gap as I needed and not a millimetre more, but I was able to take that space, use it, do something with it, and move up into 13th place. And oh yeah, the lead. Yes, I was going to say the battle for the lead. This isn't a battle. This is a formality. This is the 2nd lap of the Grand Prix. It's only a 5-lap race. Even despite that, only 2 laps in, we're only on the 2nd lap. And this guy, this 98 McLaren driver, started in 13th. And he's taken first, not in the way I would have imagined actually. The McLaren driver up ahead, I believe in the 91 McLaren. Yes, he is, that's the MP4/6. Locked up. And I believe it was also a 91 McLaren that lost podium positions. Well, points positions certainly by locking up, and it's exactly the same story here. And also on the 2nd real corner, as it was at Hungary as well. The lockup was done on the 2nd proper corner. And there is another 98 McLaren in the background, up into 3rd place, soon to be 2nd. It is a McLaren, it's not even a battle. Formality, I think, is the correct word. So this 91 McLaren, he lost 1st place due to a lockup. He's now lost 2nd due to just straight line speed performance. And here's the thing, is that 91 McLaren is quite competitive in a straight line. It is to my car, to the 96 Williams, to the 95 Ferrari. It's quite competitive, but not compared to the 98 McLaren. Nothing can best it in a straight line, not in this category. We've now got a 98 McLaren, 1, 2, 3. Within 2 laps. That's dominance on a new level. It really is. It's just kind of sickening, actually, that level of dominance. I'm up into 12th place. That's nice and all, but I really do wish at this moment in time I was driving a 98 McLaren. The 98 McLaren, in fact, actually, yellow flags is... Well, cars have just ground to a halt ahead. Looked like a crash. Certainly there was a 95 Ferrari off there. I think another car made contact with him, so this is at the Ascari chicane, and... Oh, this is quite bad as well. This is a 95 Ferrari. He was in 6th place, a points position, How much longer for? Who really knows? It depends whether there's a 98 McLaren behind, and there was actually, but still, looking up, heading into the gravel trap, rejoining the circuit, braking. Yes, and that is what I saw from a distance. That was a 96 Williams that ploughed into the 95 McLaren. There's no damage in this championship because it is forced off. I can't turn it on in this particular championship, but if damage was on, I think this Williams would have retired from the Grand Prix. And he's in 10th as well. The Ferrari was in 6th, so it's quite a big positional difference. And in fact, well, 10th down to 11th, and that's actually quite unfortunate for that Williams. He was already aggressively battling with another 95 Ferrari. Wheel banged, forced off to the right hand side, couldn't then steer out of a crash with the Ferrari unless he went to the gravel trap himself. The real question though is, why did the Ferrari, when it rejoined the circuit, why did he brake? Why did he come to a standstill? I know logically why in the game's programming it's because he had to let cars through, but you can't let cars through when you're on the track. Especially at the Ascari chicane when the racing line is a bit more fluid than it is at other corners. And you saw there as well, whilst I was talking over that, the log jam that caused, that really did bring a standstill to the lower half of the Grand Prix. Thankfully I just about avoided it, and also that collision meant I gained 2 places a lot easier than I would have done otherwise. On the brakes, don't tell me that's quite some move, I'll be honest. I've impressed myself there, that's amazing. 9th place on the brakes past a 95 Ferrari. And again, it's the advantage of ABS. I mean, ABS is not like, it's not like there's more braking power. There isn't. There's no more braking power. It's just I can go fully on the brakes with less chance of them locking up. Effectively, you know, because you could brake later in lots of other F1 cars. There's just a good chance that you'll lock up, spear off into the gravel trap, which is what we saw with the 95 Ferrari. But with my car, the Williams, it just doesn't happen. Right, 98 McLaren time. Here we go. He's now passing a, I believe that was a 91 McLaren. I think the 88 McLarens are out of it. They're long gone. They're just, I mean, they started towards the front. I think they're already at the back, to be honest. I mean, I remember passing one that was going really slowly a while ago, and that seems like a distant memory, to be honest. 5th place, though. And here's the thing, is we're coming up to the Curva Grande behind. Now, this could be deja vu, because last time a 98 McLaren was behind a 91 McLaren heading into this corner. This driver locked up. He didn't this time. Nice move, though, round the outside. Later on the brakes. And that is a 98 McLaren 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. That's a sobering sight, isn't it? That is dominance on a new level. If it was a 98 McLaren 1, 2, 3, 4, that's not too much of a surprise in of itself. It's the quickest car here, but they got into a 1, 2, 3, 4 within 4 laps. I think within 3 laps, actually, embarrassingly. They did it easily, and they did it having all started in the bottom half of the field, yet they're in a 1, 2, 3, 4. And it just means that the final 2 points positions are anybody's guess. At the moment, it's the 2 91 McLarens, and look at the defending job they're doing side by side. I don't know whether they're going to try and overtake themselves, but if they just stick in that formation, which they've not, they've gone back to line astern, but if they stuck side by side, no one's going to pass them. You can't pass them. You can't drive through a car, and you can't drive on the grass around someone, not with Formula 1 cars, and not designed to go on grass. And look at this. Final lap of the Grand Prix, we've got 2 91 McLarens in 5th and 6th, although the Williams up ahead, he has broken free. So we got a 96 Williams in 6th place. So it is an all McLaren points positions, apart from that 96 Williams, although I'm going to try and see if I can get another Williams into the points positions, because McLaren have done annoyingly well here. Yes, the 88 McLarens haven't been all that quick, but given the past few races and given this track, that's not much of a surprise. But the 91 McLaren, I think he's about to lose a position to the 95 Ferrari. This Ferrari never even won a championship. Yeah, he's going to get past the McLaren, the championship-winning McLaren that won a championship with Ayrton Senna behind the wheel. But I'm now going to catch up. I didn't even think I had a power advantage, but Slipstream I think I was on the rich fuel mix. Still a surprise though. I've taken 7th place. That is not a points position. The 96 Williams, he passed the McLarens earlier on. So he already took that points position away from me. But 7th place, the best of the non-point scorers. And bearing in mind, I started right towards the back. I think in stone dead last because I'm leading the championship. Now here we go. We saw this Williams. He was in 6th place. We saw that he passed one of the McLarens. Now did he pass the other one? Coming up towards the final corner, he's slightly ahead. He's got the inside line. It's parabolica. He's got the car advantage. I think also a slight engine power advantage. And there you go. That 96 Williams took 5th place. So that means it wasn't quite a McLaren top 5, but McLaren took 5 of the 6 points position places. That's going to be the most dominant performance for an individual constructor, manufacturer ever. But there you go, a 98 McLaren wins the Italian Grand Prix. There's another 98 McLaren in 2nd, another one in 3rd. There's another 98 McLaren, I think we'll see now, in 4th place. That is a 98 McLaren 1, 2, 3, 4 here in Monza. And bearing in mind, this McLaren was competing against Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari at the time. So that's, of all the cars to win here, I think this is the one that the Tifosi would least want to win. This is the car that bested Michael Schumacher. I mean, this 98 McLaren was dominant in its day. But there you go. I mean, dominant even now. It was dominant in its own day. It's dominant in this very championship. And there you go. There are the rest of the results. Alex Murray. Is that a time penalty for someone? I believe it is a time penalty, yeah, for the guy in 2nd last. Alex Murray, though, my teammate, finished in 14th place. And there you go. The top 3 positions in the Drivers' Championship, they were all 92 Williams drivers. Not anymore. The Drivers' Championship leader is now a 98 McLaren driver. But he's only got he's got 14 points. That's the same amount as me. It is still anybody's game. And, of course, now that he's leading the championship, he'll have to start last from every Grand Prix. 2 Grand Prix left, and they're going to be ones which, well, who really knows? The next one might play to their strengths. I don't think quite to the same lengths as this one, but the next Grand Prix is at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. 5 laps, 20th up into a points place. That's going to be tough, even in a 98 McLaren. I know they did it easily here, but the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is different from Monza, even if the kind of basic profile of the track is similar in the sense of they're both high-speed ovals with a couple of chicanes. You know, there's a bit more to it than that. And the race afterwards is the Monaco Grand Prix, which is going to play to, well, to the strengths of the people who start in the top 6. So basically, not that 98 McLaren driver Alan Forrest, not me, not anyone. And of course, also with the double points glitch, is kind of irrelevant anyway, because it will just be a case of whoever wins the Grand Prix will win the championship. But I'm going to ignore the double points glitch for the most part because, well, it shouldn't be in this championship. And if it is, they should add it onto the text rule screen, but they're not going to patch this game anymore. Actually, I say that, they patched F1 2017 not that long ago, which did surprise me. But anyway, I'm going off topic now. Let's just try and wrap this video up. So, that was the Italian Grand Prix, and next time it is the Canadian Grand Prix. As I've already said, a circuit that's similar, but different enough to where we cannot guarantee that the same results will happen. I mean, the guy who won this Grand Prix started this race in 13th. Next time he's going to have to start in last, and that's going to be really tricky. But we'll see how it goes, and I'll see you guys in just a few days for the Canadian Grand Prix in this Classic Car Sprint Championship.